through wealth creation. So this is number one. Therefore, I want to thank the veterans who joined us, civilian veterans, the armed veterans, to achieve this, to defeat an army of the government which had all the weapons. I thank them so much, and even those who are not here, I want their families to be saluted. Thank you so much. Now, after we won victory, we had to stabilize the country. But at the same time, I was aware in my head about the veterans' welfare, how they can recover, or even some of them start. That's why, as Kabando was saying, we started in Tandikwa. And Tandikwa was supposed to be for only the rural area. But as he says, we spread it to the whole country. Because we could see the jealous, why Ruero? We said, okay, let it go to the whole country. And because it started in 1997 in Tandikwa, Samba Mugerwa was the Minister for State for Ruero. Now, it is true, originally the idea was Ruero, for Ruero Triangle, but then there was jealous. People are now saying, oh, why Ruero, why not? So we said, okay, let it be for the whole country. But we did not forget Ruero. Because later on, I called a conference at Chankwanzi. 800 people came, the leaders. They came, 800. So I evolved a formula which I presented to them. The formula was, the leaders, if you were a chairman or a member of the Secret Committee or the member of the elected committees which were elected later by the ones of the brother of my RDC, what was his name?
Fazale Oseguya.
The brother of Samaguzi, my former RDC.
Katamba.
Yes.
Katamba.
Perez.
Perez, yes. If you are either a member of the Secret Committee or the ones of the elected ones of the Muslim boy, the Muslim boy whom had our chair, he was fighting with Katamba, Kasozi. If you are the Kachiko of Kasozi or Katamba, you also get these leaders. If you gave a chivira, you harbored the camp. If you were a guide, like my guide from Mondlane to Semto to Makurubita, what is his name? Not Senkari. Yeah. Senkari. You get 5 million. Katugenda kuyita bakabandu abo bandage sente ezo. Bakabandu ngenda kubayita mwenna. Katonda kyandese wano. We said each one of these gets 5 million. And not only him, even his wife gets 5 million also. Because like, for instance, if you had like Chigongo, if you had like the one of Kangave, the Museo of Kangave,
Musei Kabugo.
Kabugo, Museo Kabugo.
Yes, sir.
He would get 5 million, and his wife would get 5 million. And this was long ago. 5 million was a lot of money that time. Then, if you are a guide like Senkari, guide, the one who used to lead us, Senkari, the short man, Mutebi, was he called Mutebi? The one from Wakiso to, from Semoto to Makurubite also. The short man. Then the one who led us from Nakaziwa to Chikandwa.
Bomboka.
Bomboka. I know all those people by name. Bomboka, the one-eyed, the one with one eye. So when Bomagala Pulimba Mulimba Varara, Mulinde Mveo, Mulimbe. Because here I know everybody by name. So we said any of those leaders, member of Security Committee, member of the elected committee of Kasozi and Katamba, guide, ndo the name militia inaitwa Mtekamu. They are those who joined the militia. Each one of these gets 5 million shillings. And which year was this when we started?
209.
Yes, long ago. 20 years from now. Then we said, anybody else who was supporting, not a leader, but supporting, gets 1 million. That time,
1.5.
Huh?
1.5.
1.5. Okay. Kati mulaba akakade kyekakoze kati. Akakade korwa leero. Kakoze ekintu ky'amaanyi. You can imagine the akakade n'ekitundu obudde obwo. This was a lot of money. I can show you Rashida. Show them Rashida of Mpigi. So they are looking for the camera. How much have we spent on that casino? Okay, Katsoge tulabe Rashida.
Amanya gange yenze namulu Rashida. Omutuuze w'ekyalo Kasaka district Butambala Bombe Town Council. Nze omu ku baasookera ddala okuganyulwa mu ssente za PDM mu sako yaffe baali bagiyita Kasaka Enterprise Group Gotire yalingi. Kakati ssente nazifuna ku simu message yajja nga nfunye 1 million. Kakati neesanyuka nnyo ne ngamba bya ddala bino. Nenkubira ku chairman wa PDM. Chairman n'angamba bya ddala mzee abawadde ssente. Nenziruka ku Centenary Bank. Nenzijjako nenfuna emitwalo 9,914. Kakati nenkomawo ewaka nensooka nenkola research weewali embuzi ennungi. Ne bandagirirayo ekyalo bakiyita Mabanda kiri mu Kibibi Town Council. Nengenda nengula embuzi 3, embuzi 3 nezigula emitwalo 25 emitwalo 75. Nengulako n'ennume. Ennume yali ntoototo kuba nalaba nga nja kugyetaaga mu maaso eyo. Ennume nenjigula emitwalo 15. nensigazaawo emitwalo 914 nensooka nenkubako ekiyumba ekiri temporary. Kakati bwemala okikubako ekiri temporary nembeera n'embuzi nenzirunda Katonda n'ayamba embuzi ne zazaala abaana 2. Kakati ozazaala abaana 2 nempeza embuzi 10. Kati olw'okuba nti embuzi zaali ziyaze nga nina obwetaavu bw'ekiyumba nentuulako embuzi 2 nga zitunda emitwalo 4 nenzimbako ekiyumba kino kyemulaba mwe zibeera kati. Kaakati zino era nga bwe muziraba zino zonna embuzi 3 ziri mawako. Kati nsuubira ate ofunkulizinga ennamba esinga ate ku zino. Kaakati mu mbuzi muno njijjamu maniwa n'atuyambako nze n'omwami wange ne tuteeka mu emmwanyi ne zinyirira era kati
you can see now Rashida got 1 million and in no time she bought 3 goats, each one 250,000, 750,000. Then now we have not finished the story, but she already had 10 goats now. They had produced. And now, because they have got goats, they had the manure for the coffee. So yes, the 1 million. So bakabandwa million yange n'ekitundu ey'N29 njagala mundage byakola kubanga sibalambulangako the 5 million for omusajja, 5 million for omukazi. If you are a leader, kubanga twabagamba nti okulembeze tiwali wa musajja bwokka yekka. Like Mchala Kabugo, she was like a co-leader. Mchala Chigongo, where we had the conference. Mchala Rurika, where Yalna Bakazi Babiri, the active one was the younger one. So, Mugene Mulimba Balala. But I have not been following up these things of yours. I've been giving you money. How much money have we spent on that? The casino?
From Schedule 1, since 2008-9 financial year. Total is 231 billion 628 million.
231 billion. Yes. 231 billion has been spent on that. So, I need this meeting with the veterans. The committee of Jacobo, Musajja of Asimu, and then this is the committee of Sedung is now old man. He doesn't follow. It is these younger ones who are following. That. So we need to what happened? 231 billion. How many of the 5 million were got? And how many of the 1.5? Then we didn't stop there. 2013, when I started Operation Wealth Creation, yatandikira Luwero. I told Sare, first give seedlings to the families of the veterans. So ko owereze amaka g'abalwanyi. Seedlings ez'emmwanyi, ez'ebibala, ebyamagana. First give the veterans. And he spent like a year or two doing that. So I said, abazirwanako obamaze nti mbamaze kubatuuseko bona nti mbatuuseko. Okay, kale oba omaze kutuukako abazirwanako naawe gabira abalala. This is how I did it. So I will get Saleh's list. Saleh should be in that meeting with his list. Naye ffe Abaganda tulina engero zaffe, ffe Abaganda b'omu Lukoola, nti ekitatabuyima tekimumalako nti wadde ebyo byonna bibaddewo Katonda kyatuleese wano. So we are going to have a meeting and find out what happened to all this money. The 231 billion does not include the seedlings of operational wealth creation. That's separate now. Kati akasikano kabanda okayogerako tebandigenzireyo kubanga betwasooka mpozi oluvannyuma nawulirako no, but that one doesn't apply kubanga oluvannyuma bagamba nti abamu abazirwanako tebalina ttaka. Okay, oba temwalina ttaka naye mwafuna akasiimo, genda okola ebirala ebiteetaaga ttaka, because the kasiimo was in cash. It was cash. The kasiimo was in cash. The seedlings were the ones you could say walina okubeera n'ettaka ekibanja, but the cash you didn't have to have ekibanja. So therefore, in spite of all those efforts, we are now going to meet again, and we are not, even if the veteran died, the children are there. We shall see how to give, and I'm glad you have formed circles, and those circles should preferably not too far, because when you say Ruwero is too big. That's why I like the PDM. PDM is in a parish. So maybe the circles here could be, we shall discuss, should it be by the command areas, because we had Black Bomba, we had Mondlane, we had Nkuruma, we had Ngoma, we had Chiwanguzi. Should we follow that, or we shall see? Kubanga sagala abantu baffe bagende wala okusaka sente wala. Kiba kirungi bakolere obuweereza babuje awali okumpi. Now, nze enkola yange esiriraana n'abaavu. Nabagamba nti saagala kuliraana n'abaavu buli wembeera. Kulwaki? Kubanga ntya omwenzi ndi mukristaayo, njagala kugenda mu ggulu. Saagala bamalayika banzigalire tugwe omusajja omugaga, olinga wali omugaga w'omu Bayibuli eyalina obugaga wano ku nsi, bwe yatuuka mu ggulu ne bumusindika mu Geyeena. Y'ensonga mbagamba nti buli wembeera ndina okugezako okusitula embeera y'abantu. So you can show them my kisozi. Nina amaka 28 naye kati wenjogerera bonna kati tulabe ekisozi. If you are go on struggling with it, once we shall see it. In Kisozi, what I've been doing has been to give free seedlings to the farmers, also giving them other materials for plant and breeding. So in the Ruwero Triangle, I have got my government land in Kaumu. I will now use Kaumu to produce seedlings and give again. I have land in Ngoma. I will use that land also to produce seedlings there, government land, so that the children of the veterans get seedlings. So that's not a problem. Meeting veterans, very good. We shall organize. After July, like August. Now, the issue of a nyumba is the one which is a bit tricky, because the people are many, they are not few. Minister that is my group of exos.
Ni musajja mulimi nundayo nimanyo kusinga nimanye mwanyi ni makasoli ebitooke natandise n'okulima ennyaanya naye njagala kwebaza nnyo President Museveni kubanga yasanga tetumanyi kyakukola. Kusooka nga ettaka lyaffe lyerisinga obulungi wano mu district y'e Gombe naye ettaka lyonna nga mbizi za musiko mwezisula. President bwe yatuweereza abatusomesa ne batuyigiriza engeri gy'osobola okulima emmere bwe twava mu mmere kati abasooka okulabuka ate kakati tuli basajja bagagga. So ekitiibwa kyonna kyonna kitiibwa President Museveni. Okusooka nga President yampa ebitooke nalima yiika 5 ebitooke ebyo nafuna nakuŋŋanya milioni 27 mu bitooke. Endala ezaweerera abaana ze nalya nali sizibala bwe nafunanga katugeze milioni 1 nga nteekako emitwalo nga 3 oba 5 nensevinga milioni 27. Kakati mu season ewedde emmwanyi zokka nga nzigyeko ze nateekamu kubanga nze ebiseera ebisinga sibala zetaddemu saagala kuzibala. Njagala bwe mmala nze njagala okukubuulira ge magoba nafuna milioni 15 nenyongerako season eyo ey'emmwanyi nenzimba ennyumba yali ya milioni 93 nenjizimba era naawe weeri nagulawo obuguzi nagulawo milioni 9 waliwo yiika 1.5. Nina abaana 6 bonna bali ku ssomero kati ekyo nakyo magoba nguzeeko ebibanja kubanga fe abalimi obudde bwonna golowoleza mu kulima kati bukaseera wobeera ekifo kiba tekikumala kirala nengulamu mulo motoka nagigula milioni 48 ebirala nunzeeko ninayo obute butono ate ninayo n'obuguzi bwabwe neera nabo buva mu mwanyi President zampadde. Naye tulina ebitusomooza. Ekisooka emmwanyi zino zirina akawuka sobola okulabako nga bino kubanga abatuyigiriza abalimisa batugamba nti ogenda obinojjola kugeza nga kino kati okalaba kano kati amakungula gaakano gandibadde ngaagaakano oba kano naye kati sigenda kufunako kubanga akawuka kaakano. Ekisooka kino ekintu kino kikulu nnyo era nsaba President Museveni atuyambe kubanga kati ffe abeene Gomba etaala yaffe buli kimu kyetufuna kigwe tukaabira. Ekintu kino alina okutuyamba okuleeta abakugu tulya kiki tuyinza okuzzaako olw'akantu kano kubanga kasobola okulya yiika kubanga yiika tulowooza nti bw'oba okola bulungi osobola okufuna kati okugeza nga guno omuti nsobola okuggyako kilo 8 kakati kilo 8 buli season enkalu kati kilo y'emmwanyi enkalu egula sinye 15 mu 2 kati oyinza okubisa n'olaba sente zengenda okufuna ng'afunye kilo 8 kyokka bw'oba na bino kilo 8 tesobola kuwera. N'olwekyo njagala okusaba President nga nvudde ku kyakawuka atwongere ensigo seedlings ensigo ennungi ze yatuwa Simbi.
So this is the program again, which Saleh had started with, but this time we are going to repeat it and see directly. I will also be involved directly and find out why. What is the problem? Now, finally, 2 points. One is the hospital in Entebbe. It is true, PPS, it is true that because I support when the veterans are sick, I treat them. But I treat them in Nakasero, government, private hospitals, too much money. So I said, why don't we use Entebbe Hospital to treat these veterans? But it seems I have not followed it up. Should we follow it up and we stop squandering money in private hospitals? Now, finally, the issue of the museum. That one we shall buy that land in Megade, because where you are saying is opposite where we had a camp. We had a camp on the left, but the land you are talking about is on the right as you face Gulu. So we shall buy it and build a museum there. So kabandu atugenda kusinkana tuyite mu bitabo obuwumbi 231 bwalaga ku address ki bwalagawa. So then we shall find out if there is any family which didn't get, there are 5 million they will get. And if they had got it, especially at that time, it was a lot of money, 5 million. Even now, abantu bange bana bafunye akakada akamu, only 1 million, they have moved. Embuzi, Obumyu, Sekoko, Endiga. You can show them a girl called Opio. Let's see Opio last.
Anya POVK, Aburi one to teach Manma Alingiri Cell, T Banya Word, T my town council, T Lira district.
Her name is POVK, a resident of Alingiri Cell, Banya Word, Amach Town Council in Lira district.
Agamu Tiana PDM, Yari Ariapirwa Adek.
She got the money for PDM in 2023.
Laha bong when to me appear a beer and
970,000 and then 30,000 remained in the bank.
At a binukuru, Karachel Kadinyagi.
She planted maize.
A willow, Nyagi sacket, a para bit.
She bought maize 15 sackets.
Well met to me appear a deck we are
30,000 each sacket.
At a killated poor for American a deck would do 4 acres a deck.
She used it, actually she planted it in the 3 acres of land. Preparing the garden cost her 150 for the 3 acres. Weeding cost her 50,000. Then spraying cost her 40,000. Time for harvest 10. She used the family members and then the neighbors. Then she bought lunch, food for the people for the family which cost her 20,000. And transporting it from the garden to home cost her 50,000. She came and then she removed it from the cup. It gave out 45 sacks. She sold 40 bags. And she got 2,800,000. That was the first season. That is our first plantation. Out of the 2.8, she decided to keep 1 million aside for farming again. She used 1 million for buying ships, 10 of them.
Now you can hear this Opio girl. She had nothing, but she got the 1 million. She didn't even have her own land. She hired 3 acres, rented 3 acres from another person where she planted maize, and she harvested 45 bags. After harvesting 45 bags, she sold 40 and got 2.8 million. From 1 million, she now got 2.8. And then she used, I think, 1 million to buy those sheep you see now, the sheep you see. So she has gone from 0 to maize to sheep now. And when I went for the campaign, she had 60 sheep. She was a rich woman now. And she had bought her own land. She was no longer renting. So my veterans who got 1.5 million, eyasembayo atali mukulembeze yali awagira buwagizi abomukyalo baffe bwe twayitangako nakuwubira buwubizi oyo twamuweereza 1.5 million. Abakulembeze bonna n'abakyala baabwe, because like for instance Kisitu, do you remember Kisitu? Kisitu of Rwenkonje.
Ephraim.
Kisitu. His widow told me. His widow. There's a widow who is still surviving. When I was walking, when I was on the trek, yangamba nti nagenda nefuna ezange 5 omukyala yafuna. Kisitu yafuna n'omukyala nafuna. So this is a lot of capital, 5 million. So oba waliwo obunafu mu kukozesa esente ezo oba tezituuka, we shall find out. So veterans in the whole country, I'm very happy to have had this chance to communicate with you. And I'm glad Kabandwa raised the issues, and I've also given me the information. I've given you the information which I have. So, for Abaganda tugamba nti ezibuka teziraganye zikuba n'empowa, but let's now see how we can coordinate better. That birds, when they fly without coordination, they collide. But let's now see how we can rurerugero Abaganda nti ekitata muyima nekimala konte kasabeera n'obulamu wadde ntezifudde. Sente zino obazawaba, sente zino obazawaba, obazalagawa. Obuwumbi 231. Obuwumbi 231. Ezo zakasiimo teziriko endokwa, ezo endokwa za sale ezo ziri bali. But we shall get it. So, congratulations. Thank you for supporting the NRM. Katonda ababere.
Download the app on App Store or Google Play Store now. Vision Digital Experience, the future of media.
New Vision TV. Stream smart, stream New Vision.